So let's talk about authoritative parenting, and we probably will have a part 2 in terms of how to be a more authoritative parent, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, we could definitely do a part 2.
Let's just sum up the authoritative parenting once again, Jenna.
Yeah, so authoritative parents are parents that have an equal amount of high control and high warmth. So this is a parent that provides both that structure, consistency, predictability. There's routine, there's rules that kind of go within the household, but they're also providing a lot of warmth and affection and allowing their child to, let's talk about it. Like, let's go through that together.
So I often describe it as choices with boundaries.
Exactly. So it's like what we talked about with even eating. It's like, okay, this is what we're having for dinner, but do you want the chicken nuggets, the chicken thighs, or like the chicken wings, right? Like, so you're giving them the boundary of like, we're having chicken, but why don't you choose the chicken that you want?
Or bedtime. Bedtime's 9:00. We can read longer, or you can take a longer shower, but we can't do both.
Right.
Or you didn't pick up your toys, or what, you were fooling around with your brother and kind of fighting downstairs and having a great time. So we missed out on that kind of time. Bedtime's 9:00. So you're letting them understand the repercussions of that routine, but you're not bending too much on the 9:00 or 9:05, because then you become, oh, no big deal. And then you start moving. And sometimes parents will say, gosh, it's not worth it. Life is crazy. I've got 4 kids. Everything's happening. Sometimes it's easier just to let them go to bed when they want.
Yeah.
And maybe in that area, you've let go because the child on their own realizes as they get older, I feel better going to bed at 9:00 or 10:00 instead of staying up till 11. So again, one of the things you said during this podcast is you do let up on some of these kind of rules and regulations, so to speak, and control, especially as the child ages. It changes. You're going to be different with a 3 or 4 or 5-year-old than you are with a 15, 16, or 17-year-old.
Exactly.
So I think it's important to understand how they present in treatment, that structure, consistency, routine, and predictability. We've said it probably 15 times, but it's so critical. And we teach parents how to do that through schedules and charting and knowing what, when, and where, and things like that, and how to parent. But the child feels in control and safe, Jenna. They feel that sense of like security. The child opens up, discusses. It's more of an open dialogue.
Right.
They're more responsive to the parents' help and involvement. They're not as like resistant to it because they feel respected.
Exactly.
And
they're part of that process.
Yeah. They're willing to take risks and understand it's okay to make mistakes. They're happier and more confident kids, for sure.
Yeah. And they're willing to take risks because they know that mom and dad would be there to kind of help navigate that process when I do take a risk.
And as they grow, they tend to make better decisions. They're more independent. I can try this. I think I can do this.
Yeah.
You see that in treatment, and they have a much quicker treatment because of all of these critical aspects of parenting that are there. So when a parent says, how long will this take? I can't answer that without knowing you.
Exactly. And knowing your child, of course, again, every kid's different.
When I say you, I mean your family.
Yeah.
Without understanding your child, their unique needs, their whys, their stages, and how you parent, and all the parenting stuff going on.
Yep.
And your world. And once we know all that, and assuming implementation, facilitation is there with goals and strategies, the school has the accommodations, interventions, you're doing your goals, you're doing your games, the child will do quite well. And it's amazing. I can have a more shut down, less communicative child make a ton more progress quicker than a child that even comes in minimally verbal, because these other ingredients that are needed for successful treatment are there.
Exactly.
That's why it's not about how severe in your mind you're seeing, or how the child isn't on the bridge in any sort of communicative way, pretty shut down. I can have a more shut down child have quicker treatment. So it's very, very interesting. So this has been amazing.
Yeah.
Talking about this. And then we're going to do our next podcast on how to become a more authoritative parent, and how do we deal with families where one parent is one type of parenting and another parent is a different type of parenting. Not only how confusing that is for a child, but how do we work together? And some families might go, I'm here, their father or mother isn't here, and that's also hard because we do need whoever's parenting that child on a regular basis to be involved in this because of the mixed messages these kids could get and how that does affect successful treatment.
Yeah, definitely.